Hi, so I want to walk you through our first programming challenge. We had two programming challenges that we tried to tackle this week, and we have successfully conquered both. First programming challenge was setting up a backend structure so that our app could send and retrieve objects from a database, and do so um, with ease, essentially. So we found that the easiest way to do so was using the parse API, but since parse has been discontinued, we had to set up parse server, and also an easy way to view our database structure. So what we did was we used the parse server code that was released in open source fashion, and we tweaked the code a little bit, and then we made um, the parse server run on Heroku, and we configured all the variables and etc. And then once we had parse server linked up to this Heroku account, we also linked a release for parse dashboard to our database that we have using parse server, so that we can easily manage the data and the database structure. So here's basically how we've done that. So we have parse server hosted on Heroku right here, and then basically we can go to terminal and we can run a dash file that we've made, which starts a localhost server, and using that localhost server we can open it up in our browser, and basically this is a dashboard that's connected to our parse server database hosted on Heroku. And when we click on the piecemeal app that we have through Heroku, then we can basically manage our database really easily here. So if we want to like make a new table in our database, we can make it like this. If we want to add more fields to its table, we can do it like this. And we can also make custom classes. And basically, what we did here was made it a lot easier to view the data coming in and also modify our database structure. Another part of this programming challenge was connecting all of this with Android Studio. So in order to do that, we just imported parse modules, and we initialized parse according to the parameters we set in Heroku. So now down here, if I start typing parse, all of the parse objects and all of the different types of objects that I need from the parse API show up. So now we can make our queries and send objects into the database. And that was our first programming challenge.